General Mitchell International Airport is a civil military airport 5 miles south of downtown Milwaukee, Wisconsin, United States. It is named after United States Army Air Service General Billy Mitchell, who was raised in Milwaukee and is often regarded as the father of the United States Air Force. Along with being the primary airport for Milwaukee, Mitchell International has sometimes been described as Chicago's third airport, as many travelers in the suburbs north of Chicago use it instead of Chicago's O'Hare and Midway airports. It is also used by travelers throughout Wisconsin and northern Illinois. An Amtrak railway station opened at the airport in 2005. The station is served by Amtrak's Hiawatha service running between Chicago and Milwaukee several times daily. Since March 1941, the airport's weather station has been used as the official point for Milwaukee weather observations and records by the National Weather Service, whose area office is located in Sullivan. History. The original airfield was established in 1920 as Hamilton Airport by local business owner and aviator Thomas Hamilton. Milwaukee County purchased the land on October 19, 1926, for the Milwaukee County Airport. The first airport terminal there, the Hirschbuel Farmhouse, opened in July 1927. That month, Northwest Airlines, Inc. began air service from Milwaukee to Chicago and Minneapolis-St. Paul. In August 1927, world-renowned aviator Charles Lindbergh visited the Milwaukee airport. Kohler Aviation Corporation began providing passenger service across Lake Michigan on August 31, 1929. During the late Depression years, a new two-story passenger terminal building was constructed by the Works Progress Administration. On March 17, 1941, the airport was renamed General Mitchell Field after Milwaukee's military airpower advocate, Brigadier General William "Billy" Mitchell. On January 4, 1945, Mitchell Field was leased to the War Department for use as a World War II prisoner of war camp. Over 3,000 prisoners and 250 enlisted men stayed at the work camp. Escaped German prisoners were often surprised to find a large German-American population just beyond the fence. The present terminal opened on July 20, 1955 and was designed by Lee Fisher and Associates. It was renovated and expanded in 1985, designed by Miller, Mayer, Kenyon, Cooper Architects and Planners Inc. The Hammerhead section of the D concourse was added in 1990. On June 19, 1986, the Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors renamed Mitchell Field to General Mitchell International Airport. The airport was formerly a hub for AirTran Airways, Frontier Airlines and Midwest Airlines. On December 28, 2014, the airport became a focus city for Southwest Airlines, after finalizing the merger with AirTran Airways. The airport is owned and operated by Milwaukee County, but some Milwaukee business leaders and politicians have advocated privatization or leasing it to a third party for financial reasons. Awards and recognition. In October 2008, a Condé Nast Traveler poll ranked Milwaukee County's General Mitchell International Airport fourth in the nation using categories of location and access, design, customs and baggage, perceived safety and security, as well as food, shops and amenities. Expansion. Mitchell International has expanded the runway safety area on the runways after an accident on January 21, 2007, when Northwest Airlines Flight 1726 kidded off the runway after aborting takeoff. According to the FAA, most airports are encouraged to have a runway safety area no shorter than 1,000 feet, though many airports do not. Construction of this runway safety area began at the end of summer 2009 and was completed in fall 2012. There is also a master plan plan idea to increase terminal area by stretching the existing terminal or beginning construction of a separate terminal. Nearly all cases would involve major reconstruction on the airport itself, and would have a huge impact on the airport's traffic. These plans were, however, drafted before Mitchell saw a significant reduction in carriers and flights. More recently, in 2012, there have been discussions of closing one concourse as a cost-cutting move. In late 2015, Milwaukee County hired Izzy Bernier to be the new airport director. As director, Bernier has proposed converting Concourse E into an international, domestic terminal and combining security checkpoints to allow movement between concourses behind security facilities and operations. General Mitchell International Airport covers 2,180 acres and has 5 asphalt and concrete runways ranging from 4,183 to 9,990 feet. A helipad measuring 100 by 100 feet is on the south side of the airport property. The 07-25L runway has an overpass with Howell Avenue running underneath. For the year ending July 31, 2015, the airport had 111,486 aircraft operations, an average of 305 per day, 37% air taxi, 50% commercial airline, 11% general aviation and 2% military. In July of 2016, there were 100 aircraft based at this airport, 17 single-engine, 47 multi-engine, 26 jet and 10 various military aircraft. The main building houses the Mitchell Gallery of Flight, a non-profit museum on the concession level, the usual retail outlets, including a small food court and a branch of Renaissance Books, which is believed to be the world's first used bookstore in an airport. An observation lot along the northern edge of the airport is open to the public, and tower communications are rebroadcast using a low-power FM transmitter for visitors to tune in on their car radios. There is also a new lot on 6th Street, with a Wisconsin historical marker giving the airport's history. In 2008, airport security jokingly designated an area in Concourse C following security checkpoint the recombobulation area. Terminal. General Mitchell International Airport has 48 gates and 40 jet bridges on 3 concourses in one terminal. All international arrivals lacking border pre-clearance must pass through the International Arrivals Building. Concourse C gates. Airlines: Air Canada Express, Southwest Airlines, United Airlines. Concourse D gates. Airlines: Alaska Airlines, American Airlines, American Eagle, Delta Airlines, Delta Connection, Frontier Airlines. One jet. Concourse E gates. Airlines: United Express. Concourse E closure by early September 2016. All airlines housed in Concourse E will move to Concourse C. This will allow the airport to remodel the concourse and move international arrivals processing into the terminal. This will close the International Arrivals Building just north of the terminals. Airlines and destinations. Passenger cargo operations statistics. U.S. Department of Transportation data for second quarter 2010 showed that the average airfare out of Milwaukee dropped lower than the average at 93 other U.S. airports. Mitchell's average fare was $93 less than O'Hare's, $78 less than the nation's average, and $10 less than Midway's. Out of the nation's top 100 airports, Mitchell was one of only 3 at which average second quarter airfares were lower in 2010 than in 2009. Airports Council International reported that during the second quarter 2010, Mitchell was the 3rd fastest-growing airport in the world, exceeded only by airports in Istanbul, Turkey and Moscow, Russia. Mitchell was the only U.S. airport among the top 30 fastest-growing airports worldwide. The airport is owned and operated by Milwaukee County. Mitchell's 8 airlines offer over 200 daily departures. Over 30 airports are served non-stop or direct from Mitchell International. It is the largest airport in Wisconsin. The airport terminal is open 24 hours a day. Top destinations: annual traffic, military presence. The airport also hosts the General Mitchell Air National Guard base on the eastern area of the airport property, home to the 128th Air Refueling Wing, an air mobility command gained unit of the Wisconsin Air National Guard flying the KC-135R Stratotanker. The wing performs both federal and state missions and consists of approximately 1,000 Air National Guard personnel, both full-time active Guard and Reserve and Air Reserve technicians, as well as traditional part-time Guardsmen, available for worldwide deployment in support of Air Mobility Command and combatant commander tasking. The wing also maintains a KC-135 flight simulator, providing training proficiency for its own crews, as well as other KC-135 flight crews in other air refueling wings and air mobility wings in the regular U.S. Air Force, the Air Force Reserve Command and the Air National Guard. Prior to 2007, a second military installation on the southwestern portion of the airport property was known as General Mitchell Air Reserve Station and was home to the 440th Airlift Wing, an air mobility command gained unit of the Air Force Reserve Command flying the C-130H Hercules. While based at General Mitchell ARS, the 440 are numbered in excess of 1,500 full-time AGR, art and part-time traditional reservists. Pursuant to 2005 Base Realignment and Closure Commission action, the 440 are relocated to Pope AFB, North Carolina, in 2007, and the former AFRC facilities were turned over to the Air National Guard, resulting in the installation's renaming. Ground transportation. Badger Coach has frequent trips between Mitchell Airport, downtown Milwaukee, Madison, Johnson Creek and Goix Corners. Airport Connection has routes from the airport to the Amtrak station, the Milwaukee Airport Rail Station, parking lots, Sheboygan and the Fox Valley area. Milwaukee County Transit System Green Line Metro Express bus offers service to downtown and North Shore suburbs. Regular Route 80 also serves the airport. Fare is $2.25 to anywhere in the county. Amtrak has a station 3/4 of a mile from the airport and uses the Hiawatha service. Free shuttle buses go between the train station and the baggage claim. Wisconsin Coach Lines, as Airport Express, operates frequently to O'Hare Airport in Chicago and from Waukesha, Milwaukee, Racine and Kenosha. Lamers Bus Lines, as Lamers Connect, operates daily service to from Warsaw with stops in Milwaukee, Fond du Lac, Oshkosh, Appleton, Waupaca and Stevens Point. Accidents and incidents. On December 17, 1954, a Miller Brewing Company plane, a converted twin-engine Lockheed Ventura bound for Winnipeg on a Friday evening, had trouble with both engines and crashed shortly after takeoff from Mitchell Field. All 4 on board were killed, which included company president Fred Miller and his oldest son, 20-year-old Fred Jr., and the 2 company pilots, brothers Joseph and Paul Laird. On August 4, 1968, a Convair CV-580, flying as North Central Airlines Flight 261, collided in mid-air with a privately owned Cessna 150. The Cessna cabin remained attached to the Convair's forward baggage compartment. The Convair made a safe emergency landing at Milwaukee. The 3 Cessna occupants were killed. The Cessna was on a VFR flight from Lombard, Illinois to Sheboygan County Memorial Airport in Sheboygan Falls. It was determined that the inability of the Convair 580 flight crew to detect the Cessna 150 visually insufficient time to take evasive action, despite having been provided with 3 radar traffic advisories, caused the crash. Visual detection capabilities were reduced by the heavy accumulation of insect smears on the windows of the Convair. Visibility was further reduced by haze, smoke and sun glare, and by the inconspicuous color and lack of relative motion of the Cessna. On January 29, 1969, a Boeing KC-97, operated by the Wisconsin Air National Guard, crashed just short of the runway on final approach. The weather was foggy with a visibility of a half-mile. 4 of the 11 people on board were killed and the plane was damaged beyond repair. On January 22, 1971, Northwest Airlines Flight 433 was hijacked after taking off from Milwaukee to Detroit, Michigan. The hijacker demanded to be taken to Algeria, but landed in Cuba. On September 6, 1985, Midwest Express Flight 105, Midwest's first and only fatal accident, crashed upon takeoff from Milwaukee. One of the airline's Douglas DC-9s crashed while taking off bound for Atlanta's Hartsfield International Airport. According to NTSB reports, the crash was caused by improper pilot reaction when the plane's right engine failed due to stress corrosion cracking. The improper flight control inputs caused an uncommanded roll and accelerated stall. The 31 people on board died. On December 10, 1993, a Wisconsin Air National Guard KC-135 blew up on the ground. 6 maintenance personnel died. On August 31, 2005, a Midwest Airlines Boeing 717 bumped a weed-spraying truck and damaged the plane's left wing. No one was hurt in the incident. On January 21, 2007, a Northwest Airlines DC-9, Northwest Airlines Flight 1726 skidded 400 feet off the end of a snowy runway at Milwaukee International Airport. The accident was due to an explosion in one of the engines, forcing the pilot to abort takeoff. The aircraft was headed for Detroit Metropolitan Wayne County Airport and was to continue on to Buffalo Niagara International Airport. Amongst the 104 people aboard, only one back injury was reported. On January 23, 2007, 2 Freight Runners Express cargo planes collided and burned on a taxiway. Both pilots were able to escape without injury. The planes were a Cessna 402 and a Beech 99. An NTSB investigation determined both pilots and air traffic control were at fault for the accident. On June 4, 2007, a Cessna Citation 2 crashed after reporting a runaway trim tab. The pilot issued a distress signal within 5 minutes after taking off. The plane then crashed into Lake Michigan 2 miles offshore. The plane was carrying an organ transplant team from the University of Michigan back to Willow Run Airport. There was a crew of 2 and 4 passengers aboard. All 6 died. On November 13, 2007, a Midwest Connect flight from Milwaukee bound for Dayton was in a near-miss situation with a United Express jet heading to Chicago O'Hare International Airport from Greensboro while flying over northern Indiana. Air traffic controllers with Chicago Center directed the Midwest Connect flight to begin its descent while traveling head-on towards the United Express CRJ a few thousand feet below. The planes came as close as 1.3 miles apart horizontally and 600 feet vertically. The Midwest Connect door near 32AJT was just above the United Express aircraft and descending while they were closing in on each other. An audible TCAS alarm in the Midwest Connect cockpit alerted the pilots of the proximity, allowing them to pull up in time. On April 22, 2008, a Chautauqua Airlines flight from St. Louis to Milwaukee experienced engine failure and landed safely at Mid-America St. Louis Airport. Of the 32 passengers on board, none were injured. On September 12, 2008, at 7:13 p.m., a Cirrus State Route 22 heading from Milwaukee bound for Lakeland Airport in Vilas County crashed half of a mile southwest of the airport. All 3 people on board died.